Ranked is live, so we have a brand new meta report for you on decks that you know that are working and some decks that actually may surprise you. So let's go ahead and dive right on into the decks that we have for today. We have so much of a week that has gone by through so many games that have been played. There's even currently the biggest tournament of the week being played right now. Their day one just finished, so we'll be able to take a look at like some of this data that's in there as well too, to really just kind of come together with all of the data for you. So let's go ahead and tackle that now. So up first, we are looking at this Greninja Suicune deck. This deck right here is just the epitome of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You are essentially running double Greninja, one Greninja EX. This is kind of where this deck has been solidified, and it just feels like the deck above all decks as we've seen. If you are in the ladder right now, you're probably playing against this 30, 40, maybe even 50% of the time. It is this new version of Dark Tina, y'all, and it took really a whole new set of meta cards in order for this to be relevant. So we're hoping that we get a fresh set of cards faster to be applied here than it took for the, because Dark Tina was around for such a long time. But this is here and you should know about it in order to beat it out here. And the only interesting part here is just choosing which Frogadier that you want to run. Since you're using two, if you lead with this, you can always just bounce back. You hit for 40, but then you go back here. This Froakie, you can always do the 20 damage since you're only running water energy as well too. So I would make that change here. But other than that, it all plays the same. You're running a double Cyrus. You have your DD for heal, your other Irida for more healing for that, because all of the water energies is just going all around. Your Suicune is drawing your cards to get into your main attackers here, and from this you get pretty set up well. That legendary pulse feels really strong. Again, being able to grind out these two stage 2 lines before your opponents really get set up, which quite happens more than you think, is really key here. The only thing that you have to consider while playing this deck is that you are playing enough cards out so that way your opponent isn't earning enough off of their copycat. So that's the really only other thing. Other than that, you just play your cards and you essentially are putting yourself into a good position every single time in the game, which is exactly what you want to be when it comes to moving up the rank. You want to be able to have that good standpoint, and so this deck will take you there. Here we have Mega Altaria EX and Altaria. This base standard version, there's many variations, but this psychic deck here where you have your baby support, essentially your basic support, has been really strong. This is where it settled to begin with before the other variations came off from, but you're essentially running double Mega Altaria EX so that way you can hit for that 130. From there, you're seeing this whole piece here where your non-EX Altaria is there to serve against things like Oricorio. And then you have your Chingling to prevent these stage 2 mons, right? Like, we just don't want this to happen, right? Like, these rare candies, which is why they have the one for Frogadier here, but like, you want to stop them as much as you can. You want to stop the Tydragons from turn 2 getting to you, and Chingling is really helpful here. Jirachi to be able to snipe whatever bench that they may have, or even get them softened up to be able to attack with the Cyrus. What's really nice is that since you are running Psychic Energy, your DDD does more than just healing, in which that you can also then follow up with an attack as well too, especially if they're running high energy value in terms of what your opponent is running. What's nice though with this as well too is just again 7-0 over the weekend, so really doing work against today's meta, which is really nice. So with that, this version of Mega Altaria EX is featuring Giratina to serve as another strong, powerful attacker before you go into Mega Altaria EX. When you are running your Megas, you really don't care if your EX goes down because you as the mega is worth the entire game, so why not have some insurance in here with Giratina? If you have your board state where you want it to be, you can have Giratina up front, double in DDDs here and Mega Altaria, so therefore you are healing, making sure that this like takeaway gets negated, but as you're powering up and also attaching the psychic energy, right, because this is a psychic deck, you can get into that 130 pretty quickly. It is like, if you go first, it is charge up, second, energies charge up, and you're attacking on the third turn. If you are going second, you attach 2, and then you can attach 2 in each. Yeah, like, you're right, like you're still attacking on that third turn, which is really great in terms of like what you're looking to do here. So again, healing here is important. While this builds up as a little wall, you can attach the Rocky Helmet, and so that way you can continue to build off into this. I'm really interested in bringing this back into ranked myself, just because of how powerful Giratina can be. And then when you have a strong Mega Altaria EX follow-up, that's just like really nice. There's like really nothing else to say about that, but like being able to 130 heal this up as much as you can, is taking hits, and then you finish off with 190 HP that's hitting also for 130. It's really hard for your opponent to be able to withstand that amount of damage. And then we have here our Magnezone Oricorio deck. So this one was interesting to see. Now they're trading off of splits. Usually right now we're starting to see folks are just going away with this Magnezone, but I kind of like this being in here, especially with this Magnemite. If you're able to hit for 30, you can come in later. Going into those water decks, you can clear 130, so those Greninjas are gone right away. Your Suicunes are down to 10 HP as well. That extra 20 damage from weakness really goes far in terms of that, so that's what's really nice. Because this deck is really prominent in you're running into that a lot, this is just a great counter matchup to you. They can't do much to you in the beginning, and then when Greninja can hit hard here, you have a follow-up for them. So being able to one-shot the Greninja on the clapback here and then survive a hit from the Suicune and bring up your other Oricorio or go into your other Magnezone to make them flip after that is pretty nice, right? So that is kind of like the deciding factor of having it split to ensure that you have enough damage to really pressure here the flip coin, and losing the flip coin doesn't feel nice at times. And so just being able to take care of like that Greninja piece here is really nice. But again, having that coin flip, it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good. It's why it's in here. It's why it's making waves. This is why it's taking up a slot here. So you want to make sure that you have that and definitely use it, because that is definitely the stronger play into these other matchups, really letting you build up your time to get up your second one and get going from there. Then we have here Hydreigon and Mega Absol EX, but this deck here, which when I said a little bit of a surprise here, is set up with a Greninja line. Now this just feels really like, how do you get away with doing something like this, right? And I like that's a very hard question to answer myself, but this did really well. So we're looking at a deck that had only one loss in their tournament run into their day 2 here, so I'm going to continue to keep my eye out on this. But their matches were against like Jolteon, against other opposing Hydreigon and Absols, against the Mega Blazikens, against the Magnezones, Oricorios, and DDDEX, right? Like they have some hard hitters here and still doing fairly well, and that just kind of tells you, once you can get Hydreigon online, that deals well. You get your Greninja online to then set up the bench and then attack and then bring it up. That sets it up here as well too, which is why you're running double sires. So this mon in of itself can literally push forward a lot of decks. And while they have a lot of Pokemon here, you're really banking on this Copycat and Professor's Research to really take you away and to get into what you need. But when the cards line up, you are taking down these decks that are top contenders here. And as we saw with this matchup, it's 7-1. It lost only one match it's going and taking the wins against the top players here, so that's really cool to see. Here, this version of Mega Altaria EX and Greninja is now more common. Folks have the Sing here for Swablu, which is now being the more preferred version. Just even having a turn of sleep while you are searching for your Mega Altaria EX, or just to slow the game down a turn while you're trying to figure out what's going on with the board, is super helpful. If they're into their own Mega and that Pokemon is asleep, and then you get to take the initiative with the 190 and then hit from there, that is a game changer here. Sleep does win games, and so you're able to control the tempo, win the pacing because of this card here. So this is why we typically folks opt for Sing Swablu instead of deal damaging for 20. We can talk a lot about Greninja and Qingling before, but it's the same thing, can't be remiss to say it. Qingling stopping item cards. Not only your rare candies, but your Pokeball means that you have the potential to end games on the spot and really put your opponent in a tough time. This Greninja allows your Mega Altaria to also then just hit a higher threshold here. Now you're no longer attacking for 130 per turn, you're attacking for 150 per turn. 2 turns, that's 300 damage. I don't really know what is surviving that. And so this here just like allows you to be able to do that. In that case here, the Licia helps you clears this out, so that way your Pokeballs can go and more often are not getting the Froakie, so that way you can build into your Greninja here. So look at the lines here. It is really strong. Greninja allows you to attack anywhere on the field here, and by being able to deal that 130 damage into your target of choice, really just allows you to control the game. So you're just looking to get this Greninja online, so that way you have the ultimate support for your Mega Altaria. We then come into our Mega Venusaur EX deck, Solo Megasaur Venusaur, and this deck has proven to be a real handful. I even ran a variation myself where it was just one Bulbasaur and the other Bulbasaur was replaced with a Repel, and boy do I gotta tell you, you do ramp fast enough into this Mega Venusaur EX. You have the heals in this deck in order to be able to do that, and which makes it really crazy because 240 HP, but also an additional 160 healing. I even like having 2 Lilies to 1 Erica here to just like even make that just that much more, because you really are only attacking once you get to here. But your Quick Grow extracts lets you funnel through the cards, so that way you can build it up. You're getting that synthesis, you're getting that heavy helmet to take away that HP. The Sabrina and the red card are meant to disrupt your opponent, so that way they aren't dealing that much damage to you, because once you get to Mega Venusaur, you don't care. Now it's time for the sleep games, now it's time for the poison games. And what's clutch is that if you see an M1 with 140 HP, and it has to be 140 HP for this to work out beautifully, you don't really attack it with your Bulbasaur, because the 120, if they stay asleep, they take an additional 10 damage when it's their turn. So that means that they're down to 10 HP, they stay asleep, and then they take that minus 10, they go down, and now on their turn, and now you have the initiative to attack their Pokemon again. So it's just kind of like a free turn of attack here, which is like really sweet because you don't get to see that happen very often. But Mega Venusaur gets you into that play. That effect of poison and sleep really does make this an underrated card, and I love to see that the fact that they get to play this more, and I wish that they got to do this treatment for our boy Blastoise. Now, last but not least, we have Mega Blaziken EX and Heatmore with a dash of Furfrou here. Now, once again, Furfrou has been an undiscovered or a hidden gem. This fur coat with a rocky helmet, which there's only a one of in this deck right here. And what's really nice about this is that your opponent is taking that much more turns to take it down, and then therefore are also taking damage. So that rocky helmet is really meant for the Furfrou. You're attacking for 30 for 1 energy, so if that goes away, you can flame patch up an energy if you need to. Your Heatmore Tongue Whip can then deal the damage to the back and cyrus up anything that maybe Megas that they're trying to deal with. And then of course, your 140 damage for 2 energy with your Mega Blaziken is just lovely. I'm gonna tell you all right now, this Lily is super important to have, so you always want to ensure that it is in the deck, because having that, being able to deal 140, you get hit by Mega Altaria or Suicune for 140, 150, 160, and healing back up to then clear it out, and then also survive the next turn is really, really big here, right? You don't want your Mega Blaziken to go down, so like just this one Lily proves to be game winning in a lot of situations, and you will be able to get into that and find those things because you have your Furfrou there to really stall down the time and find the pieces to build up your Mega Blaziken and build out your board. So yeah, y'all, that's this week's meta report here. Such strong decks that we're seeing, even different variations with just such strong Pokemon, and seeing it all get made into work here. But let me know, what are you playing in ranked right now? What have you been able to find success with? I've been seeing people post their master ranks already, but if you are really climbing up there, let me know where you're at and what decks you're playing so that we all can learn from each other. As always, y'all, if you enjoy the vibes of this channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click that notification bell button, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.